good morning. Welcome to another episode of The Perfect Cup. This is brought to you by the publishing house, which will be soft launching on June 3. And if you get to visit our cafe, bookstore, bar in Tamiya, Cebu, you can get a free cookie for every coffee you get, every coffee you buy. And I'm joined with my co-host, Renato Tranquilino. Hi, Renato.
Howdy everyone. I hope you guys had your coffee already.
Yes,
we're all having ours.
Yeah, perhaps you can also show your big cup. No?
Yeah, this is what I call an imperfect coffee cup.
Imperfect. Yeah.
Okay, the reason being that I was putting in the Macona granules, so the cup was going, yep, lovely. Then you put a little bit of coffee, a little bit of milk. Now it's going all right as well. And then stevia, the cup was still going lovely. Mm-hmm. And then I threw in a mango ice cream, and the cup went, what the hell? So that's my perfect cup. So this is there you go. It's all right so far. So
yeah, it's all right. But from my end, what I'm going to do, I've got my materials here. I'm going to also create a pour over coffee while we talk about my coffee story. But before that, I want to say hi to Chubibo. Hi, Chubibo, our daily loyal viewer.
There you go. Hello, Chubibo.
Okay, how are you doing? Ayan. Okay, so thank you for joining me today, Renato.
That's all right. So, the least I could do. Okay.
Yeah, because I was thinking, okay, I'm going to do a monologue of my coffee story, because why not? I've done monologues before.
I'm just a mediator, for your multiple personalities, that you'll be bringing out today. So
yeah, it's really a challenge, because I know last Monday I did mention that we've got a great lineup, but sometimes things happen, and then sometimes the guests won't be able to show up, or parang I know it's a very early morning show, and I want to just mention that this is somehow I can foresee this as being like a morning club for those people who wake up early.
You can. Or you can also invite guests from abroad, on the other side of the world. It's only 6 p.m.
Oh, so, yeah, you're right.
So
I'll try that out.
Yep.
So si Chubibo daw, watching habang nagbabike. Chubibo, please, be careful.
Yeah, that's very loyal. That's one very loyal, fan na risking life and limb to watch the show at 6 a.m. That's sweet. So you get a free cup of coffee from the pub house from that.
Yeah. If you visit Cebu, Chubibo and I, this is a funny story. I know hindi naman siya part ng segment natin ngayon, but maybe I can tell a little story about Chubibo, because Chubibo, we met years back, during my first years in the publishing industry, and nag-away kami.
Okay.
We were young, and then we're okay, we're gonna change the publishing industry. We were this, and then he's also a writer, and then ano bang nangyari? And then parang meron kaming di ba, showdown. Nagkasagutan kami sa Rizal Park, something like that.
Oh my God. Okay.
Oh my God.
So,
okay,
para kayong pinagsabong. Oh, okay. Very nice.
It's very funny. Okay, sorry. Let's go ahead. Maybe that's for another episode. Or funny childhood, or teenagers, or maybe young adults. Story.
Well, I think one thing that I don't know whether people don't know this, or it's an uncommon knowledge, is you're technically a Russian citizen as well too. So pa-Ruski. That's all I know. Dobrodan. It's so you're fluent in Russian. Dobrodien. Okay. So you're actually fluent in Russian, in Cyrillic. Is it? And you can write in Cyrillic. Is that right?
I'm not very fluent. I would say I'm a level one.
Level
Uh,
one.
I'm on level
Okay.
one. Yeah, Russian.
So, so enough Russian not to get you kicked out of the country, but to be able to go into restaurant and order food and stuff like that. So you can do that.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay. So and
yeah,
you can
I
read the
can.
signs and you can drive and all that sort of stuff.
Yes, I mean, I cannot drive, but at least I can get into Russia. I just got my citizenship.
Hmm.
Well, okay, so citizenship last during like a month before I
Uh-huh.
came into Cebu, and
Right.
I thought, oh, okay, nakuha ko na yung citizenship ko. Can I go back now to
Yeah, yeah.
Philippines? Yeah, I was like this.
That's awesome. Well, how much
Yes.
of being Russian, I guess
Mhm.
this is kind of segueing a little bit,
Mhm.
but how much of being Russian is into this pub house, like into this concept of the pub
Mhm.
house? I
Mhm.
mean, what's a pub? What's a coffee shop like in Russia? Can you describe that? That's
Okay,
all.
so when we started the pub house, or when we were building it, we're still building it. Um, a lot of its design is inspired by this cafe that we always go to in Novosibirsk. So there is this cafe called Chashka Cafe. Chashka Cafe. Chashka is it means a cup. Cup.
Mm-hmm.
Chashka is cup. So it's a Chashka Cafe, and it's a chain of cafes in Siberia,
Right.
in
Like
Novosibirsk.
okay,
Uh-oh.
like
And
Starbucks but Russian, something like that.
there's no Starbucks in Novosibirsk, but ano siya, we really love the ambience. You know
Mm-hmm.
Starbucks. Starbucks is more of brown,
Yeah, I actually am not
woody.
into. I'm not into
Uh
Starbucks because it ruins my stomach every time I get it. But anyway, that's just me.
oh.
And all right, yeah. I
Uh.
think the way they roast their coffee or something just doesn't agree with my tummy. But yeah, okay.
Mhm.
So Cheska
Mhm.
Coffee Cafe,
Chashka. Okay, so
Chashka.
it's Chashka Cafe, and then we always go there. Like it's just walking distance.
Mm-hmm.
And then they serve sushi in that cafe, and that is really funny in
Mm-hmm.
Russian cafes. No, Russian
Yes,
cafes they've got
in
this.
any cafe.
Yeah, and when they say cafe, it's not just they don't just serve coffee. They serve quite a lot of everything. Like sabi ko nga, sushi,
Uh,
carbonara. They serve this stuff, and they serve burgers. Okay, and then
okay.
that's what we're going to do. Actually,
Mm-hmm.
we're going to serve carbonara, not sushi,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
burgers and homemade. I'm not homemade, like homey food, and then pair
Okay.
it with your coffee. Because, and I get it. Like coffee, a cafe, like in a Filipino concept, they just serve you coffee with cake, like something
Mm-hmm.
sweet to go with your coffee. Nga pala,
Correct.
nakalimutan ko.
Yeah.
I
Mm-hmm.
was supposed to make coffee, pour over coffee. I'm going to make a pour over coffee today.
Okay. So do they do this at the Cheska Coffee? They make the pour over coffee this way.
I don't really remember, because the thing is, Russians are more of a tea country. They love tea more.
Ah,
But
okay.
I always
Okay.
remember, like, they have um this little carafe. Oh
Mm-hmm.
god. I almost
Yeah, yeah.
forgot what it's called. They have this thing, and they put in fruits inside, and tea, infused
Ah,
tea,
yes.
ganon. Yeah, so laging may ganon.
Mhm.
And uh, I mean, I'm not going to serve this kind of fruity tea, but at least
Maybe you
uh,
should because it's a
maybe I
taste
can.
of Russia. Yeah.
Oh,
So it's based on
and
like the Cheska coffee in Soviet, and then you can say, oh yeah, this. So yeah. So
yeah, maybe.
here's a taste of Russia. Like there you go.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, maybe I
um,
should do that.
I mean,
But
just something different.
oh, Something different. Can you entertain our viewers for a bit? Because I'm just gonna grab something. Something I
Okay,
forgot.
sure. All right.
The dripper
Um,
itself. Okay, ganyan tayo
okay.
pag nagigising ng maaga. Okay. Okay, maybe commercial muna tayo. Okay, go ahead,
That, that,
Renato.
that's cool. Okay.
Okay.
So basically, like what we're trying to do today is trying to bring you what is it like of how much of this pub actually is Cindy. So and Cindy, as you know, like not only is she our publisher and friend and an author and an editor, she actually lived in Russia for quite a bit. And you know when you live in a different country, you kind of adopt mannerisms and style and of course taste. So when it comes to making coffee, what I want to know, or making tea, what I want to know is like how does that influence her in terms of what she's to offer the public here in the Philippines, you know. So Kasisha she is a Russian Filipino by all intents and purposes. You know, that's her character. Um, and her child is born in Russia, they mentioned, and so he's Russian, and she can speak. So here we go. I
You're
mean,
doing a great job.
so, and here she is. Back over to you, or Cindy. So tell us now that you've got your coffee all sorted out. Like what does it look like, and how does it taste?
Yeah, thank you so much.
Mhm.
Okay, hold on. I just want to answer this question for you while I make my coffee. Sir,
Okay, sure.
nasaang bansa ka ngayon? Sabi ni
Ay,
Chubito.
nasa Philippines ako. Nasa dito sa Sampaloc, India. And like, yeah, it's 6 a.m. in Sampaloc, and I've been here since 2014. So there you go. So
He was born in...
foreigners. I was born in Manila. So
Okay,
but I grew
but you
up in
grew up...
Australia. Mm-mm.
Kaya,
So
there's the
ikaw,
accent.
matagal na ako sa like over 20 years, over 25 years nang sa Sydney. Because I didn't leave Sydney. We got to Sydney in 1982. Tapos I didn't leave to go to the US until 2006. And then stayed in the US for 8 years after that, and then into the Philippines 2014. So, ikaw, gaano ka nakatagal sa Russia?
Ako ba? Okay.
Yeah.
Gano'n nakakatagal sa Russia? Well, I stayed in Russia for 2 years. Pero I was visiting. You missed out something in the story. Sabi mo kanina, I'm a Russian, Filipino-Russian.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's this Wong in my last name. Yeah, Wong is my last name. And
Right.
yeah, I'm actually half Chinese.
There you go. Hang on.
Ayan.
So you're a Chinese national as well as
I'm from Hong Kong.
Okay. So parang 3 nationalities ka technically. So meron kang Hong Kong residence, which is kind of like citizenship. And then and now it would be classed as Chinese residency. So parang triple nationality or something. So Chinese, Filipino, and Russian. So ang dami. So that's pretty cool.
But the thing is, I've been to many countries. I mean, that's hindi na yun bagong fact. That's not a new fact. But the thing is, like, I was in Russia and then I was thinking, okay, I want to go back to Philippines. I want to start this cafe because 8 Letters is in the Philippines. 8 Letters is based in the Philippines, and I wanna have these dream, or I want to achieve this dream of a cafe, supplying
Mm-hmm.
or
Like freeze.
complementing
Oh
the
shit. Oh.
8 letters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's my dream. And sabi ko nga, like, okay, my coffee story. What we're supposed to talk about today is
Mm-hmm.
how I came up with this idea. Na okay, I want to have a cafe.
Yes.
I want to start a
So that.
cafe.
Mm-hmm.
And then what was I think okay, I was 19 years old. I was already living in Hong Kong, and then I took a vacation in the Philippines, in Manila, and then I was ano ba? I saw this big like cookbook. I saw this cookbook, and I thought,
Okay.
wow, and daming cookies, and daming cakes, and all that. And I really I wanted to try to make try making them, and then I actually failed. But like at the back of my head, I was 19, and I was saying, okay, I want to start
My
my own
goodness.
cafe.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But then
Okay.
anyway, how we are with our habits,
Life.
diba?
Mm-hmm.
Life's
Yeah, and then life
happening.
happen. Yeah, there you go. So
Oo.
you're like a finance girl, right? Yeah, a finance lady. So you worked in
I'm in
finance, is that right?
I'm in travel. Looks like I'm in
Oh,
finance,
travel.
diba?
Ah,
Saan,
so
saan mo nakukuha yung mga facts mo?
I don't know because I heard something na parang you went around the world tapos you were doing I think you mentioned something na spreadsheets and
Uh-uh.
balance sheets or something like that. And I
Ah,
thought,
I
shit,
took
you must be in
accounting.
finance. Oh, there you go. Okay,
Oo.
so I think I was hearing something like this. So I thought you might have been working for various finance companies and then being sent around the world, and then you somehow ended up in Russia with love and all
Wow.
that, and then
That is
finally now
the
you
that is the controversy, right? That is a controversy. That is the like what people think of me, isn't it?
yeah
Siguro. I mean, not that
what
it matters. Not that it matters. This story doesn't really matter, but maybe I can tell a little something about that. Okay, I started working when I was 18. We
mm-hmm.
had a like big financial problem. Our family has this big financial problem, and I'm the eldest, so of course all the responsibilities fell into my
Yeah.
shoulders.
Yep.
Okay, and then my dad was like, "Can you please help us
Oh.
pay our debts?" And I
Yeah.
was 18, and I was thinking, okay, what kind of job could I get? I only had 2 years in accounting, and ano bang pwede kong gawin? And I was applying jobs in Hong Kong, and after 2 months, I got accepted into a travel agency. So
Okay.
can you imagine me holding this black card? We were welcoming Indians into a big cruise ship. They have this. I still remember this. They have this yoga event that will be
Yes.
held in a cruise, and I was like, it was raining, and I think it was June, and I was holding this placard. Na parang, okay, this is your hotel, ganyan. And yeah, I was this person. And like three and a half years later, I got into this company. Like it's a Singaporean company, and I had a very like amazing boss. He's an amazing boss because he taught us everything we need to know. He taught us how to be a CEO.
Wow.
So,
Okay,
yeah,
that's
so-
pretty good.
Yeah. I think if you're like 20 something, you should look for a boss that's like this. Na parang ganito,
Inspiring.
like,
Mm-hmm.
and you know what?
Okay.
He actually sold his travel company. He sold his travel company right before the pandemic.
Ah, good. Okay.
And
He
he's
saw
got,
it coming.
I don't know if he saw it coming, but he got lots of money. Because no, hindi naman he saw it coming because it was like 1 year or 2 years. 2 years before the pandemic. Or maybe a year before the pandemic. And
So was it a big company that bought it?
It was a UK company that bought it.
Ah, okay. Yep. So, all right. Yeah, I think with travel agency, it's a little bit like how many clientele you got, which is the key to buying a business like that. And so hopefully they're making their money now, like
Yeah,
because the pandemic is just about over. So, well, it
yeah.
is technically over, but we've got a new one coming. So
What is that again? Like
I think
another
it's that
pox?
monkey
Monkeypox?
virus or something.
It's
Yeah, something like
crazy.
that.
It's crazy. Sorry, I'll have to fix my camera because it starts to get sunny. Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. No worries.
So okay,
Nakapag sarap. Okay, go ahead.
from
Mm.
being a travel agency
Mm-mm.
consultant, and now you've
Mm-mm.
also got your travel agency like that's running in the background of
Yeah.
your dream.
Mm-hmm.
So you know you never lost sight of that cafe.
Yeah, I never
So
lost. Mhm.
yeah. So when when did it when did it click for you that hey, I think I'm gonna start this? Like, at what point did that happen? Kasi of course, starting a cafe doesn't happen like just in 6 months. I mean, so there
Mhm.
must have been a lead up to you saying, okay, hubby, let's go back to the Philippines and let's do this. So
Mhm.
when did that actually happen?
Well, he knows that I have this goal, or my like. I always tell him what's inside of my head, and I would
Mm-hmm.
always say, that, you know what, I should be starting this cafe. Or actually, I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to start a cafe in Russia,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
then
Okay.
and then the war started. I mean, we're not affected. We're not affected at all
Ah,
because
that's
the
so
war.
interesting.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
the war is in Ukraine. The war is in
Yes.
Ukraine. But the thing is, and we were living in Siberia, and the
Yes.
closest city maybe is like Moscow, diba? And Moscow is
Right.
4 hours flight away. That's far.
Correct.
It's like Philippines and to Japan. It's very far.
Yes.
It's a
Yeah.
4 hour flight. Four
Yeah.
hours or five
Yeah.
hours? Yeah, yeah. So
So
and
this could
then
have happened.
Mhm.
So the pub house could have actually existed in Siberia if
Exactly.
if the war hadn't happened. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
So there
I
you
was
go.
I was thinking about
Yeah.
starting it there, but yun nga, and then we're not able to withdraw our money anymore.
Okay.
Yeah,
Pero yung money niyo naman sa Russia is just there. So until pag everything goes back to normal, um,
mm-hmm.
everything you can get the money out again. Parang ganon, is that right?
No, it's what I meant was we this is getting very technical, but
Mm-hmm,
like
mm-hmm.
our money is, of course, it's in an international bank, but we couldn't withdraw because of the sanctions,
All right. So you have to
Visa,
get
Master.
out of the country.
We
Okay.
couldn't, we couldn't use our Visa, Mastercard. We couldn't use our credit cards.
Mm-hmm,
We couldn't
mm-hmm,
use our ATMs.
mm-hmm.
So the same thing with like the other way around, which is
Yeah.
yun nga, we couldn't also cannot get money out of Russia. So
Yep.
parang, yeah, it's a little bit complicated. And economically, it wouldn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I've mentioned this to you before. Na living in Russia naman, it's very sustainable because my
Mm-hmm.
farm doon, and you've got
Mm-hmm.
everything that you need. But maybe there's this something in my heart. Shut up. There was something in my heart that I was like, I should do this in the Philippines because Eight Letters is like in the Philippines. It's all about like it's home of Filipino indie books. It's
Yep.
it's all about serving the Filipino community, and I think in the
Mm-hmm.
Philippines we really need that. And
Mm-hmm.
and maybe if I do this in Russia, maybe they won't be able to understand it. It's a
I
different
mean, depends.
culture.
Is
Mm-mm.
Russia open to um other cultures, like other
Other
style of
genres.
other genres of cafes? I mean, or is it very nationalistic? Is it must be Russian and it has to have the Russian feel, otherwise they won't go in there. I mean,
No,
what's
not at all. Because like sabi ko nga dun sa cafe
mm-hmm,
na pinupuntahan namin,
mm-hmm.
they serve also tom yum soup from
Oh,
Thailand. Tom yum soup and
there
sushi.
you go.
And so they're like this. It's just
Mm-hmm,
that they're not coffee lovers. They're more of sabi ko nga, tea lovers.
Okay.
And I think Philippines is a great place for serving coffee. And
Mm-hmm.
we've got coffee here. We've got the barako here.
Right.
By the way,
So the other thing you could do, perhaps, I mean, if you do
mm-hmm.
eventually go back to Russia to start this, is you can bring the coffees that we have here, yeah, the
Mm-hmm.
beans that we have here, and then get them to taste it. Parang
Mm.
treat. It's you want to try Philippine coffee. It's
Mm-hmm.
like this.
Mm-hmm.
So
Absolutely. Yeah,
so
I
that
might.
might be a hit.
Yeah, why not? I'll make a branch. Like, I'll start a chain out of the pub house.
There
But
you
you
go.
know
That's,
what? You know what, Renato? May question ako dito eh. May question ako dito
mhm.
sa ano na to, sa segment na to. Because like,
Yeah.
sabi ko dito, sino yung mga natitimplahan mo na ng kape?
Oh yeah. Okay. That's cool.
Okay, maybe I can start with you muna before I say mine.
I think
Sorry, I have to keep on
I'm
changing.
not. I mean, like, I'm the
Mm-mm.
worst guy to be asking that question to, because my idea of serving coffee is getting a three-in-one thing. Is go, hi, would you
Mm.
like some coffee? It's like,
Mm-hmm. Okay,
so
but I mean
I don't.
that still
Uh,
matters. Yeah. So
okay.
sino mga na-offeran mo na ng 3-in-1 coffee?
I think other than my wife, when we were dating, um,
Oh, come on. You're not
I think,
offering coffee to her now?
well, cause see, like, my wife has got this, like, taste for coffee, and so
Mm-hmm.
she kind of crushes beans sometimes, or she buys those crushed beans,
Oh, right,
and so
right, right.
I can never get it right kasi ang taste ko sa coffee is sweet, eh. And hindi siya
Mm-mm-mm-hmm.
sweet, hindi siya like into the sweet coffee. Kaya nga
Mm.
magkaiba kami. Like, that's why pagka sinabi niyang masarap yung coffee, sa akin hindi masarap yun. So dadagdagan ko ng, I have to
Mm.
add like milk and sugar in it, which
Mm-hmm.
destroys it, right? So
Right.
ako naman, pag sinabi kong I like the coffee, I mean, she won't
Mm-mm.
like it because it's kind of sweet.
Mm-hmm.
So the kind of people I would make coffee for would be the ones in a hurry.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe an aunt or friends. Is like we're
Mm-hmm.
just in a rush to go somewhere. It's like in the morning. Like, here's a coffee. I'm making some one. Okay, sure, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Pero
Mm-hmm.
pero my taste in coffee is not for coffee lovers. So that's why, I mean,
Ah, I get it.
I have to go to you. I'm like a guy on the go, and so it's like,
Mm-hmm.
like whatever's in
Yeah.
the cup, in the tea on the coffee pot. Like, okay, let's go. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but with you, like, so how do you prepare your coffee for people? Like, what do you do? Do you invite them over, or is it
Mm-hmm.
gonna be a rush thing? Is it like a rush kind of
Okay.
coffee?
Okay, I'll try to move into, you don't just make coffee for anybody, diba?
Yeah,
It's,
there you
yeah,
go.
sabi mo nga, like, you make it for your wife.
Mm,
So I used to make coffee for my dad.
nice. Okay.
Yeah, and he's also a 3-in-1 guy. Of course, we didn't have this coffee machine before, but of course, like, he's happy with whatever. But and it's a routine. Every dinner, like, once we finish dinner, in Hong Kong, he would want to have a coffee. Okay,
Mhm.
so he would want to get a coffee, and then that's our job as daughters and sons. So he would also he would request us for coffee, and automatic na yun, gagawin na namin yun. So,
Right.
oh, is your son awake?
Oh no. I
Ah.
was just like, my wife was
Mm-mm.
warning, like,
Good morning, Mrs.
yeah,
Tranquilino.
yeah.
Yeah,
Is
my
I can
my, mhm.
your husband is working. Yeah. Oh, wait.
my husband, my sons, yeah, and he's crying.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna, like, stop this in a bit.
No, that's cool. That's cool.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, I used to make coffee for my dad, and siya lang. And ano ba? And sometimes, like, konti lang, like, very seldom, like, that I would make
Mhm.
coffee for anybody else, because I wasn't confident with my coffee making skills. But
Yep.
like, my husband, he's happy with whatever I give him.
Oh, that's
He
nice.
always
That's sweet.
appreciates. Yeah, and then
Oh,
I think, yeah, if you're gonna make coffee for somebody, it has to be someone who would appreciate it.
Yeah.
You know, like who would
Yeah.
happy to receive it. So
Yeah. I think
yeah.
my wife was like that as well too. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
like when we were in New York,
Mm-hmm.
the times I made the coffee, like she really appreciated it. It's just like when people have very advanced like tasting coffee, it's kind of like yes, they can flip back to like
Mm-mm.
tasting not so good coffee, pero they always go back to yung totoong taste nila,
Mm-hmm.
and that requires effort, and I think you've got the capability to do that now kasi 'di ba
Mm-hmm.
pinag-aralan mo yung pag-make ng
Mm-mm.
coffee ganon, so
Mm-mm.
and
Yeah.
that's
This reminds me of Bea Alonso, no? So you had me at my worst.
yes,
You know that
there you
saying,
go,
like
yeah.
you had me at my
Isn't there a
worst.
movie na ganun din, so
Oh, and then
yep.
let me just try to complete the statement. Parang okay, I cannot memorize or I cannot um state the entire statement, but it was like
You nag-mute, nawala. Nawala yung yung sound mo. It vanished. Testing, testing.
can you see me?
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, yeah.
awesome.
Nandiyan na.
Okay, yeah. So okay, what was I saying? I was saying
Bea Alonso, yung
Bea
movie niya.
Alonso.
Yeah.
Yeah, like okay, you had okay. The statement is like okay, if you cannot handle my worst, then you don't deserve my best. Something like that.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
like
Yep.
I think it's the same thing with coffee, no? Like if
Mm-hmm.
you cannot handle my worst coffee, you don't deserve my best coffee. Sorry. Okay,
Yeah.
we have to cut this episode now because
Yep.
I could hear my son crying.
Oh, okay. Go. Yeah, my son just woke up as well too. So yeah, thank you for having me as your co-host. Really
Thank
appreciate
you.
the opportunity once again, and
Yeah.
best of luck again with your pub house, which is no doubt it's gonna be a hit here or in Cebu.
Please join me whenever you want to talk about coffee or whatever topics that I have. And thank you for the viewers that we're having right now. Meron pa rin
Lovely.
nagigising ng ganitong oras.
There you go.
Lovely.
There you go.
Yun. Ayun, sabi ni Chubibo, you had me at my best. She had me at my worst. Oh, okay.
There you
So,
go.
here you go. Thank you so much, everyone, and hope to see you again tomorrow. We have to take care of our sons, our children.
Yep. Catch you
Okay.
soon.
Bye.
Hey guys. Bye.